Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Oh, snap! Yes. No, go away.
That's not true. That's impossible.
Out of all the new Star Wars exclusives coming out, I was the most excited about this Rey with the helmet. It's kind of weird that on the box it doesn't say like Rey and in parentheses with helmet or something like that. Because the one where she's holding a lightsaber says Rey and then in parentheses with lightsaber. This one just says Rey. I thought that was kind of strange. Yeah, some of the other exclusives aren't on here, like the Poe Damerons and the Maz Kanata's. Usually they put them on here, but for some reason they're not on there either. Rey was probably my favorite thing about the new Star Wars movie, and I really like the pilots from the old one. So the fact that they combined both into one pop makes me really like this one. And I think it's really a cool idea having her hold this little doll, because it appears to be wearing the orange jumpsuits or flight suits that the pilots wear in the original. So without basically telling you that Rey wants to be a pilot, just this little bit of visual storytelling lets you know that she is like either destined to be a pilot or she's dreamt about being a pilot her whole life. And I really love details like that in movie making. The helmet really does read kind of like fiberglass. Whatever paint they chose to use, it's not very shiny, but it's not dull either. So it really does kind of look like what helmets are made out of. The only thing on the helmet is that the lines are a little bit sloppy. But to be honest, you know, I know it's not intentional for them to be sloppy, but the Rebels always did kind of look like hodgepodge, their outfits, so you wouldn't expect their helmets to have these like perfect paint jobs on them, because they always look like found objects that they converted into their own stuff, you know. But yeah, overall this pop is pretty cool. I mean, her stance is pretty normal. It's not just like her hands on her side kind of deal, but yeah, there's nothing too exciting about her pose, but it's all done really well. It's all painted well. Yeah, and I really like this pop. I'm a little bit surprised it made Snap Wexley, but I'm not disappointed because I love the pilots. And these are the exact kind of small characters that I really like to see turned into pops rather than people that had no lines or barely any screen time. This guy looks really cool. I like how colorful he is. Unfortunately, though, it's kind of hard to tell, but you see that little black line right here? That looks to be like a little paint thread from his eye underneath his visor. I might be able to get under there with like a really thin piece of wire or something and kind of scrape that off. But yeah, since under his visor, I can't really get to it unless I can find something thin enough to go under there, but I'll see if I can. But other than that, he looks really cool. I'm really liking this helmet. And I kind of like how they went a little asymmetrical here. I just think that's just a better design choice. But yeah, I really liking the blue and the white with the orange. Just a totally awesome helmet. And one of the things that I've noticed Funko do when you have a character that's fat, because Snap Wexley in the movie looked pretty fat, you know, for a pilot. Surprised that X-Wing wasn't dipping down in the front, you know. But, you know, they noticeably made him wide. So he does kind of look like he's a fat character. Because I've noticed with a lot of characters that are supposed to be fat, when they put them into pop form, they just look about as skinny as everybody else. You know, so I'm glad they decided to make him a little wider. But yeah, the paint is really pretty excellent on this guy. And just the overall sculpt is nice. Very detailed. Like, it doesn't appear like that he's that detailed when he's inside the box. But when you pull him out, there really is a lot of interesting sculpting going on. I pre-ordered Rey from GameStop because I knew she was going to be really popular and really hard to find. But fortunately, GameStop doesn't just get one shipment of exclusives and that's it, kind of like how Walgreens does, or seems to do. So if you keep checking back, you'll eventually find her. And Snap Wexley is a common, so he'll probably be available pretty much everywhere soon enough. Hey girl, seems like you're pretty into pilots there. You know, I got my own X-Wing. I'm gay. Really? Yeah. Huge gay over here. Man.